Hey everyone. Of course, I made a Tesla stock price prediction for 2024 2 months ago, but so much has changed since then that an update is necessary to my Tesla stock price prediction for 2024. So that's what I'll do in this video. I'll incorporate all the new updates that's come in surrounding Tesla stock, and I'll make a new Tesla stock price prediction for 2024. So let's jump right into it. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. Of course, one of the numbers I'm going to need for Tesla's stock price prediction for 2024 is the 2024 earnings per share estimate. And as of this recording, that estimate is $2.75. Now you could see this number has come down consistently in the last 90 days. 90 days ago, it was $3.81. Then it decreased to $3.74, then down to $2.86. Then for a brief moment, it increased to $3.03 before analysts changed their mind again and decreased it down to $2.75. So the earnings per share estimates for Tesla stock have been dropping and dropping quickly, both for 2024 and for 2025, as all of the news that's coming in surrounding the electric vehicle industry indicates that consumer demand is weakening and supply is increasing by a rate that's excess of the increase in demand. So there's a mismatch between supply and demand in the EV industry with too much supply. And that's a big difference between 2020 and 2021. Remember, there was too much demand at that point, and all of these car companies were touting the fact that they couldn't keep up with demand. Well, now that they increased supply, turns out that demand was short-lived, and once those initial orders were fulfilled, there isn't really that much excess demand for electric vehicles. So that's been hurting Tesla's earnings per share and its earnings per share forecasts for 2024 and beyond. I also need Tesla's current stock price, which is at $171 per share. It's down significantly in 2024. Of course, when I made my prediction for Tesla stock in 2024, I made a video answering, is Tesla stock a buy for 2024? And I said, no, Tesla stock is not a buy in 2024. And I cited all of the factors I mentioned a little while ago surrounding the EV industry. And I also highlighted that Tesla is one of the best EV companies, but that the industry is the problem, not Tesla. Tesla is one of the better companies in the industry, but the industry is struggling following a surge in supply, following the surge in stock prices in 2020, which gave all of these EV companies that had no business with billions of dollars, it injected billions of dollars of capital, which allowed them to increase supply. And now that supply is coming onto the market and it's in excess of consumer demand. So that's what's dropping prices, dropping demand, and creating an influx of inventory in dealerships worldwide. Also, I need Tesla's price to earnings ratio, currently at 39.75. This has also decreased significantly since the start of the year. Tesla stock used to trade at a price to earnings closer to 80. Now it's down to 39.75 as investors started asking themselves, why are we paying such a premium price for Tesla stock? Why? It's valued as a massive growth stock, but we're not getting any growth. We are getting growth, but that growth is barely in the double digits. Earnings per share is falling. Prices are falling. Why are we paying a premium price for Tesla at, price to earnings of 40 or 80 before, when you could buy Ford and GM and Stellantis at a price to earnings of 5 and 6 and 4 in the single digits? So that's the dilemma that Tesla is having to answer to investors right now. Why do we deserve this premium price? Is it driverless car technology? Well, when is that going to happen? 5 years later? 10 years later? Elon Musk has been promising driverless cars for almost a decade now. Well, I shouldn't say a decade, but let's say 5 years now. And we're not very much close to driverless cars, unfortunately, in the US. I feel China is closer to driverless cars than we are here in the US. And it's not Tesla's fault completely. There's a lot of regulatory hindrances between getting the technology and getting it out on the roads, which I don't think is going to get any easier for Tesla or any of the other companies trying to develop driverless car technology in the US. So now that we have these estimates, we can go ahead with our financial model. You could see my previous financial model here when I made the video 2 months ago answering where will Tesla stock be in 2024. You can see the numbers that were evident at that point in time, right? These are the numbers I had at that point in time when I was looking at the earnings per share estimate for 2024. It was $3.15. And I highlighted earlier, those earnings per share forecasts have been falling all the way down to $2.75 as of this recording. Also, Tesla's PE multiple was 82 at that point. Now it's down to 39.75. So if Tesla's earnings per share comes in at $2.75 for 2024 and its PE multiple stays the same at 39.75, Tesla's stock price could fall to $109.30, fall from $171. So if all else remains the same, Tesla's stock price is expected to decrease significantly in 2024. For Tesla's stock price to increase or not fall, one of these factors has to change. Is it going to be the earnings per share? I don't know. Those keep getting revised lower. And given all the price cuts and increase in supply and higher interest rates, I don't know if Tesla's earnings per share are going to be better than expected. In fact, all the latest developments that are coming out suggest that Tesla's earnings per share are actually going to be worse. So is it going to be the price to earnings multiple? Is it going to be investors are going to again be willing to pay a higher valuation for Tesla stock? I think that's where it's going to have to come from. And that's where it's always come from for Tesla stock. It's almost always traded at a premium price. It's almost always commanded a premium valuation. Investors have always been willing to pay a higher price for Tesla stock compared to all of the other automakers because of some special significance they place on Tesla stock, some extra confidence they place in Tesla stock for it to achieve business goals that are much better than what other car companies can achieve. Now, if Tesla's price to earnings were to increase to 50, then the stock price would still fall to $137.50. So Tesla's price to earnings ratio would have to rise by much more than 25% in order for the stock price to just even remain flat. But what if its price to earnings were to fall to 30? That would mean the price would be cut by more than half to $82.50. If the price to earnings were to fall to 25, that would cut the price by nearly 1/3 to $68.80. And that isn't even to mention that even at a price to earnings of 25, Tesla would still be significantly more expensive than legacy automakers like Ford, GM, Stellantis, and others, even at a price to earnings of 25. And so you can see the volatility in this stock, the potential for much more downside, but also potential for much more upside because investors might all of a sudden be willing to pay a price to earnings of 80 again for Tesla, or 82 like it was when I was doing this video, a couple of months ago, which could then send the stock price back up to $225 per share, right? So it's a volatile company. It's always been volatile. I don't suspect that to change. There's always been significant downside and significant upside for Tesla stock. That's just been the way it was, the way it's been. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon unless Tesla goes through a much longer stretch of lack of performance. If it goes through a much longer stretch of a lack of performance where investors start to realize, like, hey, wait a minute, Tesla's not delivering all of those things that it promised it was going to deliver. And investors start to look back at all of the promises made by Elon Musk and the fraction of them fulfilled and start to realize, should we still be willing to pay a premium price for this company, even after all of these failed promises? Maybe after a couple of years of underperformance, that will start to become evident in the market. If not, if there is a return to growth and growth accelerates again, I feel that'll quickly generate enthusiasm for Tesla stock again, and investors will start kicking themselves for being down on Tesla stock and say to themselves, man, I should have bought it when it was down. I listened to all the bear case and I didn't buy Tesla stock, and they'll rush in to buy it and the momentum will take over and Tesla stock will explode back higher, back up to levels of a PE of over 80. So it's one of those stocks that can do that. But to update my price prediction for Tesla stock, previously I had Tesla stock price prediction for 2024 at $239 to $310. I need to downgrade that recommendation given the recent updates on Tesla stock. So my updated recommendation or price prediction for Tesla stock is between $150 per share to $250 per share. And that wide range is because, what I mentioned earlier, it's a volatile stock that can move sharply in either direction. And so I need to account for that in my price prediction. Before I let you go, let me tell you about the greatest deal on YouTube. With just a click of a button, you can get free financial analysis from a professor with decades of investing experience. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon.